Hi everyone, my name is May Chu and I'm sitting here today with my coach Alfred DePew.
Hi May.
So I'm on a hunt for good stories and I know you're a writer.
Yeah.
So today I want to talk about, maybe ask you about a time in your life where you received some divine intervention. Maybe you're in a tricky situation.
Like when I was pulled off the mountaintop by, somebody who's no. Does they have to be true?
Right. You are a fiction writer.
You're looking for
true.
the truth here, yeah.
But truth and lie is a great thing.
Well, truth and imagination, or sometimes it's the imaginative hit that is the divine intervention,
Oh, tell me more.
It's sort of like
a time in your life where you got, that would be a divine inspiration.
Well, right. I'm not sure how divine it was, but it was certainly, it felt like it was coming from left field. Mm-hmm. And that's when I'd come back from New Mexico, where I'd been writing all summer, and come back to the state of Maine where I lived and taught in the winter. And a friend of mine called and said, there's this Reiki master who's coming to town and we don't have enough people to do the workshop. Would you, if you signed on, we could do the workshop. And I said, I'd had Reiki once and I thought, what's the big deal?
What does it feel like?
It didn't feel like anything. I thought, well, this is kind of a waste of time. But I'd been in New Mexico, right? So New Mexico, there's all this metaphysical stuff going on and dances of universal peace and shamans and sweat lodges. So I'm thinking, well, Rick, maybe it'll be different this. So I went and signed up for this weekend and went through it and had a very powerful experience on the table from, getting treatment. And then the attunement to, do level 1 happened, and I really felt different. And then I kind of forgot about it and I thought, well, that was that. I'm glad I could help the people out and have their workshop, but it didn't feel like, woo, now I'm going to be a Reiki master or something like that. But I did notice that a couple of weeks later I was on the phone to massage schools. And it's like there was this part of me that was watching me make these calls going, what are you doing? I had made a commitment to finish a book. I had a very heavy teaching load. I had made a plan for the fall and the winter. And massage school was not part of that plan. But I kept calling these places, well, when do you start and how much is it and what are the modules happen and all this stuff. And then I heard myself say to this one massage school, okay, sign me up.
It's funny you say, then I heard myself say, It's like, I had nothing to do with that.
Well, I had something to do with it. I made the call, but this other part of me is saying, what are you doing?
So you got a few parts. You got the part that says, what are you doing? Yeah. And then there's the part that says, sign me up.
That was the intuitive part.
Okay.
The intuitive part was kind of committing to something that the rational part of I don't know if it's left side, right side, but of the brain but there was this kind of influx of energy that was kind of picking me up and saying, there. And I kept thinking, well, I don't want to be a massage therapist. I don't know. So it wasn't about that, but it was about the training, which was extremely useful, and which led into energy work and channeling work and polarity therapy. There was this whole, I ended up finishing certification in massage and polarity therapy, which is, working with the chakras with crystals and sound and color and light and, points on the body, it's this whole modality that was getting more and more into the intuitive or energetic or invisible realm. So 5 years I spent, on and off doing this training as I was teaching. And
I'm really curious because I'm going back in your story to the point where you said, I had this profound experience on the massage table. And I was just wondering if there's something that you can share about what was so profound about that experience.
It felt like, and I'm not sure I'd had acupuncture. Maybe I had started acupuncture, but it felt like a very good acupuncture session where the energy shifts and what was kind of blocked opens.
Do you feel it? Is it something that you sense?
It's a feeling of energy in the body. Have you ever had acupuncture?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's like having a sleeping leg sometimes, like the beginnings of
and then it wakes up.
Yeah.
Something, or it can be sometimes literally a kind of an electricity going up or going down, or a dull ache or a move. But I wasn't aware of that so much as the collective effect was energetically, I was different. And I think it was something about the energy of the Reiki moving through me that helped get me to a massage school that also had this whole protocol and modality around energy work that the other massage school didn't have. That led me into things that rationally didn't make sense or couldn't be seen, but I just kept following my curiosity and practicing and getting results with clients and getting my own results from my fellow practitioners, so that I just kept following it, and it made a big difference in my life. And it's hard to sort of quantify that difference or even speak about it, but the next thing you knew, when coaching came along, something in me said, go for this. And again, that other part of me is going, that you hate sports. You know, coaching, you had terrible coaches in high school. Why would you want to be something like that? But in a sense, the energetics of it, or the metaphorical part, or the spiritual part, knew that that was actually the right thing, even though the language of it didn't make much sense.
Mm-hmm. So there's this voice in your head or in you that directs you in your life.
Sometimes it's a voice, yes. And it feels also like something coming from deeper in the body.
Like you're going like this.
Yeah,
like
it's almost
inside.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. So tell me how it works when you coach me with all the knowledge that you bring to the table. When you're sitting there with me and I'm having some issues, do you hear the next questions to ask me?
On a good day. Because there's always, I'm wondering now, even that I'm talking about this, that I don't think I've ever said it this way, but it feels like there's always in me a double awareness that I actually use. So there will be we could call it the primary awareness of the presenting, well, what's the objective for the session? It's, whatever it is, and this. And so there's a primary awareness of, I could get curious about this. I could ask this sort of question. This kind of exercise might get us towards your objective that way. So I'm beginning to think of how might we spend the session, or is this one of those where I'm simply following the process that's right in front of me? And then there's this secondary intuitive that I usually wait until I hear it 2 or 3 times.
Oh.
I don't know, it's just my protocol. And then a third time it's like, okay, this may not make any sense, but what do you know about fish? And sometimes you or another client might go, I was just thinking about fish. And they might say, I used to have goldfish, or I know how to do this fish, or I was a fishologist or something like that. And then I'm thinking, okay, and what's the metaphor here for the thing you brought to coaching? Oh, well, it's just like a fish. Or it could go, what do you know about fish? Nothing. Drop it. What are you aware of now? I'm aware of that was a weird question. What's it like to be with the weird question in terms of how do we get back on track towards your objective of setting priorities?
Mm-hmm. So it's almost like taking a risk.
Yes, that's it.
Well, I certainly have been appreciating the risks that you've been taking in our coaching sessions. But I am so glad I learned more about you because my shoulders are very sore. I'm always finding out more about my coach here. So if you want to find Alfred as your coach, you can find him at
AlfredDePew.com. That's AlfredDepew.com.
And thank you for joining us on Inspirational Tales today.
Thanks, May.
Thank you. Bye.